some very heavy cast iron frames which have been well used before. Some of them have been red oxide and then painted over. Some of them are rather bare underneath. But the main thing on here, you've got to rub off any of the loose black paint so that you can get a good anchor with your red primer. We won't be using lead oxide primer now, but we will stick with red because we know that it's a good primer sealant on the iron. Cast iron is a peculiar thing. It's very brittle if we drop it, so we've got to be careful. But each of these frames weighs in the order of 20 kilos. So we've got some work to do on it. We'll wire brush down one side, turn it over, wire brush down the other, and then move on to the next panel, wire brush one side, turn it over, wire brush it, until I've got all these three ready to be primed. I've primed 5 already. These are the ones which are standing propped up. And we've had a reasonably good seal on them. There's 1 or 2 places which I've missed, but that's almost inevitable. So I'll have to go back over them again. Just check little crooks and crannies to make sure that the red sealant covers everything. How's that one for you? Primer that I had. And it's come out bright, shiny red. It seems to be a very good primer, but it wasn't a great deal of it. The next panel lot, finishing off, was a very dull primer, very thick, and the rest of them were completed with the new pot, which is very runny. Not sure I like it though. It doesn't seal over as well, creep as well as some of the others do. Oh, well.
You can talk to me.
I can't talk very well when I'm head down.
So what are you doing?
Wire brushing to get any metal, any paint off which is loose. There's that one upwards, it's a long way out.
Where did you get them from?
Well, we brought them back from Keighley. What were they on? Some kind of a sales system. I think he'd had them round his garden or something. Round the front garden. I'm not quite sure how on earth he fixed them up. Some of the cast iron has been welded, but you don't weld cast iron, so I don't know what he'd done with it. And it wasn't brazed.
Have you got gloves on?
Fun?
Have you got gloves on?
No, I don't need gloves for this.
Never mind, you don't need gloves on. What are you doing with your hands?
I'm just holding this.
I know, but those hands are supposed to be caressing my body sometime. Oh, I don't fancy any chances.
No.
Okay.
That makes 2 of us.
Go on. Oh, what do you say? It makes 2 of us. You naughty pussycat.
Somebody has messed about with. Somehow they have managed to weld on to mild steel, which in the normal way you can never do. So what he's done, I don't know. It's not a special welding rod that is used, as far as I can tell. There are some special rods that you can do odd things with, but usually they are more resistant to rust. This is very rusty, so it's just straightforward welding rod. These were just as they come from the foundry, which is a very, very light touch of primer, just to stop it from going red until it's sold. But that's clean enough to put a primer onto now. So now I'm going to settle down and primer.